What's up? What's going down? Yes, yes, yo, you don't stop, Big John. Come rocking the short shot. Me and Mr. Coop on the ones and twos. It's cold to the pen. HQ, baby. Yeah, final Thursday of the regular season. If you are hanging with us, we're just letting it all hang loose. You are probably clinically insane for baseball. Nuance and context. Let's get it, everybody. Brian, and Brian up in the house. Elfring, Rose, BGC, Rich Clark, OPMG, Capo, status achieved. Grab the spear, grab the shield, and join the phalanx here at 300, where we give to the books nothing and take from them everything. We may not be huge, but we're freaking fierce, yo. Check it out. Keeping the views up. Who else is... Man, I'm not sure. If there is another thing I've been prouder of in the moment, like Jay just was hitting me up. We pushed the show into the green for the season. You know, we had some hiccups picking up at real time. I gotta understand, I have my own subscriber base. We wanted to keep track of the show plays. And Jay, hat tip to you, my man. Rob Pizzola, if you're out there, hat tip to you. Alex Moretto, hat tip to you, my dudes. Because I think we did a really good job building a boat in the middle of the ocean, kind of bridging them both. Gosh, am I excited to see more than 2% ROI on the season, betting baseball every damn day with me. The big man with the big mouth from the Big Apple, Big Johnny Stud, baby. Follow me up on Twitter at John Laghezza. Follow up the show, Call to the Pen HQ. Jay would love to hear from you. Absolutely love to hear from you. Fastest show in MLB, absolutely anywhere. Obviously, I mean, someone's got to be agreeing. Someone's agreeing with it. Mixed slate today, and maybe more importantly, it's better to be lucky than good. Yesterday, we were a bit of both, but myself in particular, you know, I got up and I ran the model. Good boy, as always, sometimes my focus is too singular. Not realizing this the last week of the season. You really got to keep an eye on competitive stuff. It matters. Starting pitchers are getting yoked. Guys are getting pushed back. Sitting, lineups are weird. And I walked into, you know, one that I shouldn't have with the Phillies, who had just clinched. We were talking about watching him on video, you know, riding the bull, getting hammered. But I had already had the bets in. I said, good for the goose, good for the gander. We went for it. Phil's went down like 5 early. And I was like, yeah, that's what you get for being stupid. And they came back and won it for us, wrapped up the daily donkey parlay. Just, whatever. It's so funny, man. What a world. I love it. And you must too, if you hang with us, rate, review, and subscribe, because that stuff just matters way more than it should. Just entirely more than that stuff should. All right, let's try and close out strong. This time I did keep an eye on the competitive stuff. I think we're betting on the only 3 games where there is some competition, though I saw a line pop up that I want to sink my teeth into. We're actually going to get to it at the very end by accident. It's the Tiger and Royal game. That was another one. We had that when we were up 4-0. We got X from the parlay, which kind of blows. But that game got canceled without going final. They're going to continue it, pick up the next one early. I scraped from MLB. It was the last game. And, Jay, man, to move like a game, it sounds so easy. Like, oh, why don't you just kind of move it up to the top on your spreadsheet? It just throws everything off. Everything I have in order, you know, so I could try and be as seamless as possible with this stuff. So we'll get to that one at the end. You know, anytime my boy Cole Reagan's on the bump, you know where I'm going with that. Come on, we've been on him from the very beginning. My fantasy crew on him from the very beginning. Hopefully, you know, all the hard work that we're doing is kind of paying off. All right, I'm filibustering to get my way to the schedule. Okay, let's start 6 o'clock. How about we start at 6 o'clock? And then we'll circle back. We'll do some of the afternoon ones. I think there's 11 games total. Maybe that 11 and a half. So we're going to go to Pittsburgh and Philly first. Let me just get my fat arse over there. All right, this one's not listed. Again, we're getting a lot of that from, teams like the Pirates that, don't really care. They're probably just going to, see who feels healthy, make sure everything is good. Luis L. Ortiz on the bump. 5 ERA, 1.7 whip, 825 OPS on the road for the Buccos against those fighting Phils and the Fanatic. Zach Wheeler on the mound. I mean, short of pitching for awards, like we picked out yesterday with Garrett Cole, we hit that one yesterday. I think Jay said we swept the board yesterday. Jay, this is so funny. You don't know me long enough. Maybe some of the followers and listeners do. When I first started, I had this whole thing, and I kind of came out of nowhere. I have no experience in this, professional experience in this industry, right? I don't have a media credentials. I don't have a journalist background. I didn't, powder my nose at some stupid place. Whatever, so dumb. I'm like a real person, right? From nothing, self-made, self-taught, hard as freaking iron. And I was going to go talking about myself. Damn it. Oh, wait, I said Garrett Cole and the sweep, pitching for the awards. Oh, and there's something you want to stick with. Zach Wheeler, not one of those. I don't even know if that's where I was going. Who even cares, right? So I got Ortiz on the bump first. Wheeler. Man, I forget where I was going when we got the sweep. Anyway, hopefully it'll come back to me. So Luis, not very good. Wheeler on the bump, very good. Where I was going is, as much as the algo is going to love Wheeler, as much as your model and any statistic you could find is going to love Zach Wheeler, and you should. 3.64 ERA, 1.07 whip, 3.5 K walk ERA, 3.1 expected, 3.5 Sierra, 22 KBB, all the stuff that we love. I mean, really, Wheeler he was awesome. 41 ground ball, 5% barrel, all the stuff we're into. We don't know what we're going to get. This might just be a like a regiment kind of thing. Maybe that's the word I was looking for. Keeping Wheeler on schedule, just getting him a little bit of work. So he doesn't, these guys are creatures of habit. Let him get out there, let him get his work in, and then they'll throw pitches, then they'll go in the clubhouse and lift some weights and stuff and kind of count that as a start. So that's, I think, all we're going to get. Again, that was a mistake that I made yesterday. We were very lucky to get away with. The Phils came back. The Pirates kind of suck, So I think we're getting Ortiz. Again, it's been a disaster. It's really hard to kind of cap this stuff. He's got a 6.9 expected ERA and a 5.7 Sierra, all the stuff, we generally want to go after. And on the other side, Phillies kind of pick it up lately. Bit of a mixed bag, right? They were really running hot as the sun for a little bit. That's corrected a touch, but they're still very good. Again, remember, what have we noticed, right, going through this whole year that's been at the center of a lot of the, I don't know, confusing production. Like unexpected production, a lot of times it steals the base of it this year. And that's like, something I think really gets highlighted when you follow all year. It's why, not just because it's our livelihood, we care a lot about the show, but I always try to encourage people to listen every day because of the nuggets, right? Where there's a story arc to the show that I'm hoping people enjoy. All the 300 jokes aside, though, I really like it. I really do kind of connect with that mindset, right? We are up against it all. We are up against the major corporations. It's me and Jay up against literal roomfuls of people with high-tech equipment, all types of like makeup and stuff. They have scripts. They have stat finders. We've got me and Jay, you know what I'm saying? And we have so many instruments attached to us. But what ends up happening, that builds that kind of genuine truth, right? Now, again, Jay, me and you are probably on different sides of the sanity spectrum. But where our overlap is, again, with all the people on the outside, those that wish to kind of improve, in all facets. I want to always be a better host. I want to always be a better capper. Hopefully learn a little something. Yeah, I'm just rocking on it. We're just what is it? The open mic. I was trying to think of the other one. Like slam, what is it? Slam poetry? Something coming from baseball slam poetry. My goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, so you gotta like the Phillies, but it's really hard to bet. So all important. We're going to just bet on the teams that are playing for something. Next up, and this is a tough one too. I had this one posted and I pulled it. Again, a coward, very honest about having a big fat yellow streak down my belly. Chris Sale in the bump for the Red Sox. Plus 105 dog on the road against Dean Krispy Kremer and the Orioles. Orioles, I think, are wrapped right now. I have it up. Okay, Orioles not wrapped. Sorry, Orioles not wrapped. 2 games ahead of Tampa. So that's pretty close. They're going to be putting it out there. But I think you'll see them pull, I don't know how to pull the competitive rug, let's say. Boston jumps out early. I don't think they're going to be like pushing and stealing and really pushing for it. I don't. I think they play into game scripts right now. And so I like Sale, but what are we going to get Boston firmly out of it? And the offense has been objectively terrible. Again, if you follow the work on Twitter or X or whatever, it'll bring you to a Google Doc that's wide open. Anthony Romo, what's going on? Yes, and Fuego. We got to live that way, man. Right, yo? The passion. Who else bringing the smoke last day of September, yo? You can't fake this kind of funk. I said it in the first week that you'll see when we get to the end of this beautiful story. You're going to look back and go, damn. Not only is this MF crazy, but hopefully, like, you learn something. Like, legit, you learn something. You're taking adult lessons here. Risk management, paying premiums, weighing things, not double counting. A lot of the important lessons that kind of carry on in life that make it really sharp, So we do appreciate you all out there listening to us here at the end of September. I mean, you got to be out your damn mind. Anyway, jump on the stat page if you want to follow along. It's all free right now. If it's free, it's for me. USA. I finally remembered what I was going to say. I finally got it. When I first started, Jay, that's what I was going. You didn't know me that long. I'm at nowhere without the training, and I started capping for free. That's what I was going. I got, of course, me, the big man. And you could probably check on Twitter. I don't know if my new handle comes up if you search the old stuff, but maybe you could use the MLB moving AVG. And if you search that with Robinhood, like that was my thing, and I'm mad. I used to cap the public, and that was part of my initial, like the snowball right rolling down the hill. And I always found, kill it for the public. And I don't know, you have to believe in positive juju in like the universe and stuff, maybe, to believe in that, paying it forward and whatnot. But historically, right, we could say objectively, historically, I've done very well for the public. Like I opened up the page to everybody. First of all, it's been free the whole time, Mr. Luck up there. You know what I mean? You didn't have to pay if you didn't want to. But once we made it free, we just freaking took off, man. So, you and me, me and you, the crew. So, Boston offense, as bad of a 2-week set, that 500 plate appearance set, as I've seen. I mean, 40 runs scored, 10 homers, 631 OPS, worse than 20% K minus BB, 80 zone contact, 13 ground ball double plays, and a 66 WRC plus last 14. William Craig says, didn't expect Johnny to become the parlay king. Yeah, and it's not that. You're only going to see that stuff end of the year. Though I like the daily stuff. Again, right, I dialed down on the risk, and I just a lot of favorites or stuff for the algo. But yeah, this is probably the time to do it. There's a few select teams that are really pushing against other teams that are not. You're going to be juiced to the balls. Whatever, let's just make it happen. So I like the Boston F5, and I actually pulled it. If you're feeling froggy, I guess you could jump. But again, I couldn't get there, and I got to be honest. Both bullpens have been okay. I think pound for pound, Baltimore bullpen is better. I don't know. I don't know if Sale only goes 2 or 3 one time through the order. I don't like this as much anymore, so you got to get away from it. How to make the sausage content to the roof. Anthony Roman, man, you are one of us for sure, dude. You absolutely get it. You get it. That it's not always numbers and K rates. It's sometimes to step back and think about how we use these things. Are we applying them properly? And then sometimes it's about toilet jokes, right? I mean, isn't life? All right, come on, next up. Jay, we're off the rails in the best way, right, dude? Oh, it's the New York Yankees and Luke Dreamweaver. I can't believe he's a freaking Yankee. I can't. If you show me a list of players that would be playing for my beloved New York Yankees in the year of our Lord 2023, vomit. Willie Calhoun and Jake Bauers getting meaningful at bats. Oh my God, help us all. Yankees getting what they deserved. Although, in the Yankees' defense, because I was looking at this yesterday, I was on TSN. Toronto 1050 with the cause, baby. Finally getting some love north of the border. That, if we balancing the schedule to expose, teams to the rest of the leagues and divisions and all that stuff. I don't know why we're doing division standings anymore. Like, I'm not sure that really plays for me. And again, it's not to try and benefit my Yankees, but let's be realistic. The Twins have had this locked up. They're at 85 wins. Seattle, currently on the outside looking in, is at 85 wins. Seattle is a really good ball team. I'd hate to see them excluded with a worse record than the Twins. Like that sucks. That really does. Yankees at 81. Again, they're gonna fall on the outside. They're gonna fall on the outside. But I think the playoff format, does not reflect it. I think I almost just need straight up league standings, right? Like the way a conference type with NBA. That's just my 2 cents. Again, I'm not trying to sneak my Yankees in or anything like that. But I would like to sneak the Mariners in. That's kind of my thing. And if it means, right, yeah, well, who cares about a division? 3 teams. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? It does not matter. None of that stuff matters. Let's get the best. It's 162 games. The sample is proper. To me, there's no need to kind of manipulate it any further. Luke Weaver on the bump, 6.5 ERA, 1.6 whip with a 900 OPS. Ooh, is shocked. Surprise face. Oh, 5.6 expected ERA with a nearly 5 Sierra. He's kept the walks down, which is good, but no whiffs, way too much contact. It's so ugly. 39 fly ball, just under 10% barrel is that 2 home runs per 9. 354 expected WOBA and 412 expected WOBA on contact. One of my favorite, isolated metrics. Again, remember, people, I might as well leave you with the quick lessons. I'm already off the freaking rails. POD Jam, what's going on, baby? He's either up early or up late. Remember, contact quality stuff, as much as we love it, right? It's the stacks. Everybody loves the boobs. Got to be careful understanding what they describe. Something like a barrel rate, especially when you're using it for pitchers, be careful. In general, contact quality allowed for pitchers. But more seriously and more specifically, barrel rates. We mentioned this yesterday, and then somebody got back to me and asked me, and I'm like, I should have been hammering this home all season with the bully metric, with the important stuff. That you could get up 100 times, 100 plate appearances for a hitter. They may only make contact once, right? 99 strikeouts, 99% strikeout rate. 1 contact, event for a barrel. That's 100% barrel rate. Okay, so barrel rate is the denominator is balls in play. If you want to get more specific, when I do fantasy, I like to use for barrels per plate appearance. That would be 1%. You see the difference? The barrel rate you're given generally per event, the one you need to hang out with me for, per plate appearance, which again is obviously way more descriptive. The first one is that's the Miguel Sano theorem. For anybody out there remembers, my dude built like a freaking tank. He puts a bat in the ball, it's halfway to Guatemala. But when he doesn't, it's just automatic strikeout stuff. So keep an eye on that. Weaver just pretty bad in general. Terrible on the road as well. 890 OPS allowed with a 6.25 ERA, and of course those 2 homer 9 always gonna be a problem. Really bad on the bump for the Blue Jays north of the border. It's the Basset Hound -180 favorite. Stick him in a bin, Jay. Toronto's playing for something that's good enough for me. 3.74 ERA, 119 whip. Does anybody care? It's a definitive edge over Weaver. Bassett, though, something that we have followed this year. He's been very good at home. 197 BA allowed, sub 600 OPS with 3 ERA, 3/4 homer 9 for the Bassett. I was on the radio yesterday talking about the Jays' inability to hit right-handed pitching. it's been a legit struggle for them. What's really going on? This is funny. First off, I want to address just really quickly because I've heard, I talked about this on the radio, people talking about the runners in scoring position stuff for the Blue Jays. Jay, you've even mentioned to me, although you've been mentioning it to me. And while that was true, that's really picked up in the second half for the Jays. Unfortunately for them, is kind of the overarching theme is the too many ground balls. So even with a high batting average running the scoring position, ground balls are not always kind of scoring these guys. So their ISO with runners in scoring position is also very low. Insight says Bassett 3-1, 257 last 5 starts. 0-0, 1-3-3 ERA, 2 starts versus my Yankees. Thank you, Insight. Really lifting the quality of the chat all by yourself, my friend. That was a buoy job right there. Make sure you're following the contributors to the comment section as well. What I wanted to, last thing on the Blue Jays, right? So I heard this from, I like the credit, I heard this from Rob Silver, one of my favorite fantasy analysts. He's also a devout Canadian and Toronto Blue Jay fan, but he's very, incredibly smart, understands the game, and watches the Blue Jays. He mentioned the batter's eye, which I actually thought was interesting. He's really smart. So he actually mentioned the wall change. And we think, wow, I didn't think there was that big of a deal. The wall change, though, opened up something in the batter's eye, and they put like a restaurant back there. Not saying people are worried about a bar, but that's movement can be distracting. And I know this is like a little narrow street, but seriously, I have chased batter's eye narratives before to great success. That was Willie Adames' thing. Tampa, notorious for a horrible batting eye, helps the pitchers. Adames complained about the batter's eye. Got moved to Milwaukee, went bananas that second half, and his road stats were sick with Tampa. So just something to think about with Toronto, and when you're killing them if it's a home road thing, because they're a top 5 road offense and like a bottom 10 home offense, which is really out of whack when you're high quality. Generally, the really good teams play great at home. Anyway, Toronto Blue Jays by a mile, however, 190-17 batting average, a 275 OBP, sub 6 barrel, 71 WRC plus. They better hope that Bassett is good. If not, the bullpen's been very good as well. 3.35 Sierra. Last 43 innings, 30% K rate. Gotta love that. 210 BA allowed. Janky bullpen is good, but not great. Once they took out one of the better parts of it, Michael King, it started to sink just a touch. So Toronto goes in the bin. They're going to be part of our donkey parlay. We got 2 in a row. Heave ho, 2 in a row. Yeah. Next up, going right in the bin. Miami Marlins are playing for something. It's the Jesus Lizard on the bomb, Jesus Lazaro. Minus 130 against the Let's Go Metsco and David Peterson. So yeah, Marlins are playing for it. Good enough for me. Right now, Marlins, just give everybody an idea, I have this stuff up. Marlins tied with the Cubs for that last wild card game. So how could you not? This is what we want to back. Plus we got the pitching edge. Lazaro objectively better than Peterson, 3.7 ERA, 1.24 whip. The expected stuff really good. 3.75 Sierra. 20 KBB, that's a check. 14 swing and strike, that's a check. 31 whiff, that's a check. Plus 34 O swing, that's a check. So a lot of stuff that we like from Lazaro. He even keeps the ball down 40% of the time. The problem is that the misses tend to get punished. I know I told you to be careful of contact quality. And generally, a guy like Lazaro has the stuff to live in the zone. Maybe it's just a deep count thing, a certain pitch thing. But though that has been rough for him, right? So we don't want to misframe. 40 hard hit, 9.5 barrel, only 1 homer 9. So he's probably lucky he might find some regression in that category. He's been death on lefties. Not buying the surface stats on the road. Last 40 days has been damn good. 2.9 ERA. David Peterson, flip side. Really rough season. 5.4 ERA, 1.6 whip, 8.35 OPS. The indicators are split, and I always struggle with this. Again, I'm very clear about these. There's no correct answer. Which indicator is the best? Which estimator is the best? I quote my favorites. I really like that Fangraphs created a K- walk ERA because one of the problems with these estimators is you want them to reflect discipline. So I like to have an eye on that. I really like expected ERA if you follow my nerdy baseball work at The Athletic when the season starts. we did in-season correlation to earn runs, and believe it or not, XFIP of the old ones was the best performing, even better than Sierra. And expected ERA was better than all of them. And then WHIP was actually better than all of those. Where I'm getting it is I often talk about looking for agreement, accordance, between Sierra and expected ERA. But when you don't get it and there's a huge disparity, be careful. And that's why I always tell people you can't just use one metric. My podcast partner, Salfino, I get it, he's very to the point, concise, and there's something to be said for that. But again, if you look at me and you say, well, I use expected ERA, I'd say, well, his expected ERA is north of 5, he sucks. And if you said, well, I use Sierra, I'd say Sierra's 3.9, maybe he's not that bad. 26K to 10 walk, 12.5 swing strike, and a 29.5 whip. So the disciplinary stuff for Peterson is very good, but he's another one. So I guess I should say one side of the disciplinary coin is pretty shiny, the other one not so much, all scratched up. 10% walk, 38 ball, 57 first strike. That's an issue, right? The ball rate and the walk rate in particular with that first strike rate is a problem, because then when he has to challenge, I think that's when we see the problems. Generally 55% ground ball rate on the season for Peterson, very good. However, 45 hard hit, 6% blast is the 412 expected WOBA on contact. I should have mentioned that with the Miguel Sano stuff. Is expected WOBA on contact is purely contact stuff, all of the contact stuff. Where xWOBA counts discipline and strikeouts and stuff. Not saying I don't want to know that. If I want that, I'll use expected WOBA. If we're talking contact, use expected WOBA on contact, or as some people affectionately call it, xWO bacon. Bacon. Peterson's been okay as of late. The ERA's inflated. The indicators are pretty strong. Met offense on the struggle bus, and in particular, one of the worst left-handed hitting teams in the league. I know I said that yesterday, and then they beat up on Garrett, but, Mets 272 expected WOBA versus lefties last 30, not any good. 12% swinging strikes, 17 line drive, those are bottom 5. Hard hit rates, bottom 5 as well. 101 WRC plus probably tells the tale. They're just around average. Miami Marlins are rocking and rolling right now, and offense got it back to fish. 289 team, average 850 OPS, that's single-digit KBB. Top 5 in chase rate, top 5 in hard hit rate. Good combination there. 365 WOBA and a 129 WRC plus for the fish. Bullpens on the struggle bus, man. Mets are been humming. So that's going to be our thing when they need to get ahead and stay ahead. That's the problem with the fishies. But again, they're playing for it all. Mets thinking about golf. So give us the fish in the bin. Moving on up, it's Marcus Stroman and the Baby Bears playing for their lives right now. Poor Seiya Suzuki, man. Poor Seiya Suzuki. Love that dude. Much respect. I think he's going to be great. I hate to see players face plant like that. I don't know if you saw it. I mean, not only was the play despicable, but it was at the worst part of a game, at the worst part of a season. And people are going to hammer him, and he's getting cold, all types of horrible stuff, and it's unwarranted. So Stroman's on the bump for the Cubs. He's back. Okay in the return. 388 ERA, 125 whip. I think you know what you're getting here, right? It's going to be low K. Usually the control is there. He's going to keep the ball down like crazy. He's throwing that lead sinker, 57.5 ground ball, 4% barrel, 1/2 homer 9. That's the claim to fame. But he's up against Atlanta, and it'll be more about the lineup. Again, I got to check. Atlanta's been so crazy with lineup consistency. I cover fantasy stuff as well. So oftentimes we're looking for changes in playing time, again, which makes a lot of sense. The Braves, their playing time is just a singular block. And again, that's just maintained. They're playing the starters. They're playing the hits. It was Acuna, Albies, Riley, Olsen, Ozuna, Harris, Murphy, Rosario, Arcia. 1 through 9. It doesn't matter if they're 1,000 games ahead, which I think they're 1,000 games ahead. Yeah, Braves are 1,000 games ahead. Although actually they're 4 games up on the Dodgers for best record, which got to be home field throughout. So I don't know. You would think it's done. Maybe last night's did it for them. I would think if the guys were ever going to get arrested, it'll be this week. On the bump, AJ Smith-Shawver, who has really struggled and is probably a good negative regression candidate. 4.6 ERA, 1.25 whip. But XFIP, K walk ERA, and Sierra all north of 5.25. Single-digit KBB, single-digit swinging strike, 22 CSW, 43% ball rate. Yikes, that is not going to do it. 57 fly ball, 10% barrel is nearly 3 home runs per 9. And the reason why Shawver wound up back in the minor leagues. Cubs offense humming right now. Atlanta Braves always good as well. I would have to think it's the Cubbies, but I don't know where that's getting anybody. Braves bullpen's been awful. 6.5 ERA last 51 and a third. They're going to need some help back there. So you got to like the Cubs. I know I said we'd be betting on the competitive teams, but I still don't want to face the Braves because they haven't shown us that they're resting their starters. So I like the Cubs to win, but I am too much of a coward to bet it. Jay, how you feeling today? Clear throw, man. Let's pay some bills. Man, I got a sneaking feeling this show is gonna be back next year. Brought to you by BetStamp. You know you gotta shop around, man. Jay, tell them about this, will you?
For sure, guys. I got you here, and apologies for the leaky mic. But BetStamp is an odds comparison tool, and we believe that using an odds comparison tool can just simply help you improve as a better. BetStamp compares odds across every sports book, including games, player props, and futures. Save time, save money. Check out BetStamp. Download the app today. Just search BetStamp in the App Store or Google Play Store. And download it today. You can also access it through the website, betstamp.app. But if you head over to betstamp.app/call to the pen, and you're looking to sign up for more sports books, if you sign up through that page, it helps support the show. Now, back to John.
It wasn't happening again. No way I was talking into a muted mic this time. Mute. Worst, man. You wonder how it ever happens. I'll tell you, it does. For me, a little behind the scenes stuff. I can't hear him. It's my computer's plugged into headphones. So I don't exactly know when it's ending. And usually I'm making all types of ill noises. That's like the other part of the truth. So there you go. A little connection to the world beyond the scenes here at Call to the Pen. Again, I like the Cubs, but I'm too cowardly to bet it. 2 more games on the night slate. The Yarbroughs are back. Ryan Yarbrough on the bump for the Trolley Dodgers on the road in Colorado against the gun show, Chris Flexen. Yarbrough been very good. You know, Dodgers, well, they correct just about everybody that comes through there. Probably says something more about Thor than them. 3.8 ERA, 115 whip. Kind of just the guy stuff. You know, the indicators are never going to be great for a player like him because the K rates are low, but so is the walk rate. Right, so if you're going to have an 18.5 K rate, the same way Flexen does, you need to have a 3.5 walk rate the way Yarbrough does. Flexen's at 8. Not that 8 is terrible. But imagine having an 18% K rate, but still a 15 KBB. Whereas Flexen 16 has a 8 KBB, single digit swinging strike, 24 CSW. So you got to like, Yarbrough has always been very good with the off-speed stuff, working around the edges, and that kind of reflects in the hard hit data. 28% hard hit on Fangraphs, 29% hard hit on Savant, 29%. That's got to be one of the lowest in the league, meaning that's the 95 mile an hour metric. That's insanely low. Insanely low. And we've even seen pitchers get by with that number at 40 if they're keeping the ball down. Gives you an idea of how deceptive Yarbrough is. Really hard to get a hold of. 1 home run per 9 and a 304 xWOBA. Those are all really good metrics. The ERA is at 4 last 40 days, but the indicators are all closer to 3. So anytime you get a full run, you want to go that way. Flexen's been terrible. 7 ERA, 1.7 whip. Just awful. I didn't put the Dodgers in on the sheet today, I should say. Because, again, I don't know what we're going to get from them. But I'm starting to get the sneaking suspicion the Dodgers win with their backups. The funny thing with the Dodgers, though, I know up top, it's established veterans, right? Betts, Freeman, Smith, JD Martinez. After that, they're like role guys. Outman, Peralta, Hayward, Rojas, Kike, Ahmed, Chris Taylor, Austin Barnes, Colton Wong. It's like, you wonder how they rock and roll. So I don't know how they're going to attack this. Maybe the big dogs get a couple days of rest. They play every day. Man, Freeman and Betts play every freaking day. They're out there. They probably do. If I'm not mistaken, Freeman is going for something, right? Some kind of doubles record or Dodgers double record or all-time double record. He's going for something, 60 doubles or whatever. But again, I don't know. I personally would not risk getting these guys hurt. Looking at the standings, I mentioned it, the Dodgers don't think they're theoretically they're chasing the Braves. 4 games back. Do we even have 4 to go? barely Thursday. Oh, you have four back with 4 to go. So this should be the last day. You see the Dodgers lineup in full. Maybe one more day, right? If the Cubs do beat Shawver and the Dodgers beat up on Flexen. So I guess you could expect them to play to win one last time. I didn't count it. Maybe we should have, Jay, right? Is it even listed? I just brought up my book. I actually don't even have this one listed. You got Dodgers, Rockies up there? We go with it if you want. I didn't realize that they actually do have maybe one more day to go for it. I mean, 215, why not? Let's do it. I'm surprised it's not like 290 or 310, to be completely honest. Yarborough's gonna. He's like. Listen, I was gonna say carve him up. He's not the kind of guy, but Rockies are terrible. They don't hit lefties. 73 WRC plus last 500 plate appearances. The K stuff is ridiculously bad. Too many ground balls, and they're gonna walk right into this. They're gonna just be terrible. So this one should be, again, yeah, you feel so stupid kind of capping Dodgers Rockies, but the Dodgers with a firm 3-phase edge. Bullpen's been phenomenal. 1.36 ERA for the Dodgers last 66 innings. Colorado's is up near 6, last 51 and a third. 175 whip, nearly 300 batting average allowed. I mean, this is just not even close. So you could put the Dodgers on there. I would have myself. I'm not keeping them for anybody. I would have too. So right now we're at Toronto, Marlins, Dodgers. And is there one more? And if there is one more, I must have bet it because I thought I had an extra one. I have Milwaukee, Toronto, and Miami. Okay, so you know what? Yeah, you can put Milwaukee too. We'll get to that. Milwaukee's a 4:00 game. I bet the afternoon stuff, I guess. So we go like Toronto. We could do those three if you want, Jay. Toronto, Miami, Milwaukee, and the Dodgers. It makes a nice 4-pack. You could spin that together. I'm going to do the last one. This is the game to watch. I mean, this is playoff baseball, baby, at its best. Texas Rangers currently in the lead. Nothing clinched, 89 wins. They're currently in the leader spot. Houston Astros, 2 games back in the division, currently in the 3rd spot for the last wild card. They're at 87 wins. Seattle is at 85. This is must win for Seattle. So this is all of it, right? All like Rocky 4, baby. All your love, all your power. Hit the one in the middle. Jordan Montgomery on the bump for Texas again. Who's playing? The 2-game span between themselves and Houston could be gapped. So you're getting Montgomery on the bump, 3.25 ERA, 119 whip, 690 OPS. Gilbert, 3.75 ERA, 109 whip, 679 OPS. These guys are close as could be. Indicators go with Gilbert by a hair, 3.75, let's call it on average, to about 4.15. Jordan Montgomery, 21K to 6 walk. Gilbert, 24K to 5 walk. I mean, this one is going to be good. Both have a 41% ground ball rate. Gilbert gives up a few more hard hit balls, a few more home runs. Montgomery going into the better home away split also. He's been really good on the road. 282 ERA with a 227 BA allowed. Both have been pretty good last 40 days. Montgomery better with the ERA, worse with the indicators. Gilbert with the sub-4 Sierra. I mean, this one is it. This is everything. Tempers were flaring yesterday, Houston and Seattle. These are like legit high impact games coming up. Insight, dropping nukes. Dude, I want to call it out, but I want people to come to the comments. Let's just put it this way. If you'd like to know why Insight and his super sharp comment is leaning towards Texas here, he also says Texas, the season series is Texas 8-1. Wow, really? Again, dude, I never pretend to know it all. I know that I have a blind spot for split stuff. Maybe it's called trends. So it's all those trends, not splits. Doesn't mean I don't care. I wanted to know that. I wish I knew that, and I didn't. But now we do. But you also know why. Chefs come here to eat with us at our restaurant, right? The restaurant where the chefs eat. How do you know the restaurant is good? Because people that prepare food eat there. Come here for a laugh and to see what's going on. Rate, review, and subscribe. This one, again, just close as could be. Texas has the upper hand on offense as well. They got all their pieces back, right? When Heim came back and Young came back. Garcia back. 25 home runs, last 500 PAs. 814 team OPS. Disciplinary stuff top notch. 23K to 11.5 walk, top 3 chase rate, top 3 hard hit rate, 348 WOBA, and a 120 WRC plus. They have struggled against righties. Seattle. They're falling into this sellout thing, which you got to be careful. Insight says more info, better decisions. Yes, sir. This is the way we see you. Seattle on the sellout tip right now. Striking out, which is not everything, but it's bad. Right? 26K, 14 swing and strike, 79 zone contact. Atrocious. But double-digit walk rate, so they're waiting, being patient. 22 line drive, 49 pull, 43 hard hit. So there are some underpinnings here of the sellout stuff. They're going to have to get to Montgomery. They've just been okay against lefties. Seattle with the upper hand in the bullpen. If this one, early, maybe the double result here is Texas F5, Seattle full game. I tend to think Seattle gets one more in the bag there against Texas. But again, this one closest could be, watch this one. Enjoy the baseball. Imagine, I don't know, this I never get. We can talk about this when we get into playoff stuff. That, don't feel you need to bet something. Betting should be viewed as the price, right? Analysis that leads you to a price. You can get that price with way better analysis. We're going to in football. Like today. Is it tonight? Tonight. Don't sweat it, baby. You don't need to push. You can watch this one. I don't really think there's much of an edge. Jay, let's do a quick circle around. Bonus 5 minutes coming at you, everybody. I mentioned Milwaukee, so that one's as easy as can be, just in case you want to hear it, right? It's Corbin Burns and Dakota Hudson. There's your explanation. Now, Brewers clinched the division. Well, I guess they're not really playing for anything. I saw the Philadelphia 89 as well, but they can't get jumped, so Burns may just get a one spot through. I thought I had Milwaukee's playing with intent. Jay, did you spot that lineup? Did you place the parlay is what I mean to say. If you did, then obviously we're in. If you didn't, maybe scratch Milwaukee. Let's stick with what, you know what I mean? Let's say, again, it's a mistake I made. I thought I saw 89. I would scratch Milwaukee from it, but again, the Cardinals are out of it. Hudson is a disaster. Even one time through the lineup of Burns is good. I mean, even the St. Louis offense is just awful right now. 70 WRC plus. They have a 209 average, 601 OPS, 52 ground ball rate. I mean, it's really bad. Milwaukee picking it up as they head into the playoffs. So again, yes, I think Milwaukee wins, but this one doesn't feel as bad as the Phillies because we had Ranger Suarez. This is Corbin freaking Burns. And the Phillies were coming off the drunken celebration. Milwaukee, again, right, even if he doesn't go 6, I think the 3 we get should be awesome. And hopefully the Milwaukee bullpen will get us home. So if you bet that one, that's okay. Let's jump into the beginning stuff. The game I wanted to take a look at was, Jay, do you have pricing on the Royals, the full game Royal game? When I was looking, that stuff wasn't out because they have to do the makeup first. Right. Second game, yes, that's the one we want, right? You're not going to be able to pick up the one that's being continued because some books have those bets open. Make sure you read your rules. I got that question like crazy. But it also means we're winning parlays. What happens when the Detroit game gets canceled? I mess with one guy. I was just playing with him. I talked to him all the time, so I thought he knew what was coming. And I told him, "Oh man, you lose." He was like, "Oh, that's absurd. How could you lose?" And it's like, I don't want to complain about refunds, but we were winning. How could we lose the bet? I was like, "Yo, man, you gamble, you lose sometimes." And I had to calm him down. But most books just scratch that parlay and then they recalculate. Okay, this one I don't get. Jay, can I get an F5, right? We want F5 for the Royals. Cole Reagan's, our boy, is on the bump. I'm thoroughly confused. Jay, how can I be? Is this right? How could? I mean, is that the single? Okay, yeah. Jay in the comments says could be wrong. Sorry, everybody. We're going to have a real-time kind of glitch going on, which might be some edge. Let's make sure we're on top of this. Okay, so the book I was looking at, again, I'm not seeing. This game is not up. Okay, this game just got posted up. No, man. First 5. The problem, everybody, sorry, I'm like talking through it, is Cole Reagan's on the bump for the Royals against Sawyer Gibson Long for the Tigers. Both very good. Of course, we love Cole Reagan's. We're Cole Reagan stands. The reason I have this really stupid look on my face with my mouth hanging open is because some books, again, using BetStamp, have a minus 120, and I see a 160 plus 165 out there, which has to be a mistake. Insight says Casey destroyed 5 straight Nerfies. Well, this is a great candidate for a Nerfie. All right, Jay says it's wrong. So which means that was at 115, which means the run line that I wanted, when I saw the plus 165, I wanted to run to the run line, F5 run line. Now I don't think we want that. Jay, could you bring it back up? I'm sorry, I didn't see if the total, is that total 4.5? Because we'd like to go, I'll go under 4.5 now. Can't get it. So yeah, just forget that one. Don't even bother. Oakland and Luis Medina, Funky Cold Medina on the bump, or Sonny Gray for the Twins. They're packed up. So I didn't print that one. I obviously have the algo through the roof. I have the Twins by 1 million. Gray is only going to pitch an inning or two. I don't know if I love the Twin bullpen or offense as much as I like Milwaukee, where I would still I'll still bet Milwaukee. I don't think I want anything to do with the Twins. And then it's Bryce Jarvis for Arizona against Touki Toussaint. You can't bet this one, right? You get on Arizona to beat up the White Sox. They did the last 2 days. This one feels like the letdown spot. I don't know anything about Jarvis. He's only going to open. I'm not a big fan of the bullpen there, and then whatever filler they're going to throw us. So that'll do it. Insight just dropping nukes, absolute nukes all the way throughout. That'll do it, everybody. Thanks for picking up what we're putting down here. Jump on the bet stamp. Check out the green ink, baby. Woo! We did it. We did it. Yeah, one of us. Man, you are truly part of the Phalanx here. The community that we built here at Sparta. Giving the books nothing and taking from them everything. I love that. It's the best. So from Jay and Jay, we love you much, man. Be smart. Bet it small. Bet it safe. Follow the data and play around. In fact, man, with football, I don't know if I have time. I want to roll out some more under strikeout parlays, from the toilet before the season ends. But I don't know if I'm going to have time. So keep an eye out for our work. Jay will be on Forward Progress today. That's FWD Progress HQ. Look at me, Jay, showing off the marketing skills. So he'll be on today. I'll be on tomorrow. Anthony, BGC, PODJ, and Insight. We love you much, man. Brian Rose, BE, BGC, Frankie, Maddie, Dream. Love you all, man. It means the world to us. So enjoy the games. Enjoy your day when we done with the book. Enjoy the pay, baby. Remember, when you work this hard, there's a lot less like luck. Last regular season show tomorrow. Wow. Peace out, everyone.